On my wedding day, I lifted that rice bowl. Before my fingers had even fully grasped the chopsticks, my husband Zhou Jingchuan snapped at me. Ice cold. With the authoritative tone of a public reprimand. Wait a moment. You can't eat first, he said coldly. His eyes were fixed on the steamed base in front of his mother. I felt invisible, like furniture. Just shove it aside. Everyone at the table froze mid-bite. My father-in-law paused mid-bite. The meat hovered in mid-air, a drop of oil slowly trailing downwards, dripping onto the tablecloth and soaking into a dark little circle. My sister-in-law, Zhou Xiaoyu, had a mouthful of sweet and sour ribs. Her cheeks puffed up like a hamster. Her eyes darted between us. The look of a spectator at a show. My mother-in-law, Zhao Fengqin, sat at the head of the table. She hadn't quite managed to wipe the smile off her face. Her smile frozen, stuck in place. I stared at the steam rising from my bowl, feeling a hand squeeze my heart in my chest. Squeezed until it ached. I set the bowl down slowly. Not a slam, but a sharp click. That pierced the silence. I looked up. Meeting Zhao Fengqin's half-formed expression. My voice low but clear, from now on. I won't touch a single bite of your family's food. The room fell still, rice cooker clicked off. Its keep warm light glowed red, like a watching eye. Zhou Jingchuan frowned. His voice dropped even lower, low enough that it seemed to scrape through his teeth. Lin Wan. Don't make a scene on day one. I'm not. I pushed my chair back an inch. The legs scraped against the floor with a short, sharp screech. I'm just getting the message. Zhao Fengqin finally put down her chopsticks. She moved slowly, teaching the room. Chopsticks struck the bowl, a sharp ring. She sighed. Her tone, like skimming grease, smooth but sly. But it clings and makes you sick. Wan Wan, don't be so sensitive. The Zhou family follows old rules. New wives don't eat before elders start. You can't move before the men have their soup first. With guests, you wait your turn. These rules, they're not targeting you. This is our family's tradition. I took a look at the table. The food was indeed a feast. A steamed base sat right in the center. The fish head pointed straight at my father-in-law's seat. Like an offering on an altar. The braised pork sat right by Zhou Jingchuan's hand. Shiny, ready the moment he reached. The sweet and sour ribs were closest to Zhou Xiaoyu. She couldn't even spit bones out, piling them messily. And the greens and tofu were placed in front of me. Plain. Bland. As if they were a light dish for my delicate taste. Zhao Fengqin told me many times over the phone. We don't favor boys here, just love lively meals. Now I finally understood. The liveliness she meant was theirs. My job was just to know my place. Zhou Jingwa cleared his throat. He picked up his teacup and took a sip. He tried to smooth it. A new bride, it's normal. We'll teach her slowly. We have a lifetime. I smiled. That smile probably wasn't very pretty. Because Zhou Jingchuan's face darkened even more. Dark like a storm sky. Mom, Dad, I don't get it. I said it very calmly. Growing up, in my house, whoever was hungry ate first. Late workers got saved plates. My mother taught me that food is meant to feed people, not to rank them at the table. The flesh on Zhao Fengqin's face quivered. Pinched, she snapped, why so thorny? I woke at 5 to simmer soup. What for? So you'd eat well your first day. Then was I supposed to feel good picking up my bowl? She didn't answer. Zhou Jingchuan did. His palm pressed on the table, his knuckles going white. Lin Wan. Don't cling to one comment. Mom just warned you. You're new. Learn our ways. I looked at him. Last night. He was holding my hand, telling me we were a family now. And that he'd never let anyone upset me. And at noon today, he used that same hand to push my chopsticks down. Telling me I didn't have the right to eat yet. Sometimes a man's promise isn't even as solid as a tablecloth. You can wash a dirty tablecloth. But a dirty promise? Just watch it sit there, fake decent on the table. Zhou Jingchuan, I said his full name. Very softly. What you just said, was it, wait a moment? Or, you don't have the right to eat yet? His lips moved. But no sound came out. Zhou Xiaoyu cut in quickly, her voice carrying that light, sly cleverness. Gosh, sis-in-law, too sensitive. Brother didn't mean it. We've always done this. Mom had way more rules when she married in. Back then, my grandma even made her stand while eating. I turned to her. So you think that was okay? Some traditions are worth keeping, if only to avoid repeating mistakes. Zhou Xiaoyu froze, the words catching in his throat. The spare rib slipped from her chopsticks, dropping into her bowl. It landed with a soft thud, the quietest sound in the silent room. Zhao Fengqin's face darkened completely. She set her chopsticks down on the table. The gesture wasn't forceful. His silent authority, I'm the backbone, crushed us. We all held our breath. Today is the first day of your new marriage. I don't want to be harsh. A woman learns her place at the door. How you ate back home is your business. In this house, you'll follow our rules. I nodded. Zhou Jingchuan thought I was backing down. His expression softened, just a little. He even put a piece of red braised pork in my bowl. The meat settled on the white rice, the oil slowly seeping down, leaving a stain, like something unclean. All right, sit and eat. Don't make this difficult for everyone. I pushed my bowl away. I'm not eating. Zhou Jingchuan's chopsticks froze in midair. Whenever he says my name, he always forces the last syllable down, to sound composed and mature. Lin Wan. I used to find that so manly. Now, it just sounds like a lid. Desperate to force the boiling water back, I stood up. I picked up my purse from the back of the chair. Zhao Fengqin's voice spiked sharply. Sharp as nails on glass. Where are you going? We're not done eating. You're wrong, I said, locking eyes. I haven't even started. Zhou Jinghua slammed his teacup down on the table. Clang. A few drops of tea splattered out. On a day this joyous, is this how you act? Like a rule, I said. You all taught me that. The moment I spoke, every relative froze. This wasn't just a dinner for the four of the Zhou family. Zhou Jingchuan's eldest aunt, his second uncle, his cousin, and two younger kin, all there. The wedding just ended. Sweet candy still clung to us. They came to watch the new bride serve tea, pay respects, to praise her virtue and sense. No one expected the first bite to choke them all. Unswallowable, unspittable. The eldest aunt spoke first. She's the kind of round-faced woman who loves to smile. Her tongue smeared with I'm only doing this for your own good. Every couple struggles. Your mother-in-law means well. She's just impatient. Sharp tongue, soft heart. I know, I said. She means well, setting rules. The second uncle raised his glass. His face flushed, a man who's been there. Women, you know. Just bow your head as a newbie. No shame. We've all done it. I stared at him. Then should a new man bow his head? He blinked. A man? What door would he enter? I stayed silent. Some aren't incapable of understanding, they simply refuse. I just never thought I'd be the one on the other side of the rules. Zhou Jingchuan finally stood up. He grabbed my wrist, his thumb pressing down hard on my bone. He wasn't gentle. It stung. I glanced down. His hand let go. But his frown deepened. Lin Wan. Don't make this ugly. Ugly for who? I asked. For a split second, panic flickered in his eyes. But irritation quickly masked it. My mother slaved away all morning. And you just walk out over a single comment? How can she face relatives? What will they think of me? Hearing that, I actually calmed down. So it was never about me being hungry, or me being upset. It was about his mother facing neighbors and his perfect name. I pulled my hand back, inch by inch. Very slowly. Slow enough for him to see my rejection clearly. Zhou Jingchuan. Remember this, I didn't walk out over a single comment. I walked out because after you said that, you still expected me to dine. His face went pale. Zhao Fengqin snorted from the side. Not loud, but loud enough for the whole table to hear. Fine. So this is the wife you brought home. Barely in and she's already bossing us. Jingchuan, I told you. Too opinionated. I had Zhao Fengqin. My voice low and steady. And you remember this. I'm not putting you in your place. I'm just refusing the place you set for me. With that, I left. Chairs scraped loudly behind. Someone stood up. Someone whispered. Zhou Xiaoyu's voice was the shrillest. Such a drama queen. Who exactly are you putting on a show for? I paused mid-step. Then I turned back and smiled at her. You. Zhou Xiaoyu's face flushed red. What's that supposed to mean? When you marry, if his family makes you wait. Let the guests eat first, wait for the elders' approval. I want you to remember what you said today. Zhou Xiaoyu opened her mouth, but nothing came out. The moment I opened the door, the smell of garlic sprouts cooking from a neighbor's kitchen hit me. Sharp and savory. More home than that lavish Zhou feast. The elevator doors opened before me. The numbers slowly ticked down from the 12th floor. Zhou Jingchuan came chasing after me. No jacket, his shirt sleeves still rolled up. Like a groom who just bailed on his own wedding reception. Disheveled, clinging to a shred of untimely dignity. He stood behind me, his voice a little softer than before. Soft, almost like begging. Do you really have to be like this? The whole family's out there. Couldn't you just give me some face? The elevator number hit 11. Didn't look at him. Why didn't you give me any face just now? He went silent. You could have reminded me. In private. Could have told me your mom cares about that stuff. I watched his face reflected in the elevator door. But you stopped me publicly, saying I'm unworthy. You're not clueless. You just thought this was the easiest way. His Adam's apple moved. My mom's health is fragile. She can't take the shock. I'm newly married too, I said. I'm not made of steel. The elevator door opened. I walked in. He followed me. Inside that cramped space. Last night's wedding paper still hung, blinding blood red. Must have been some neighbor, put it up without a thought. Edges curling, that's newlywed bliss. Red outside, but the glue won't hold. Zhou Jingchuan reached out and held the elevator door. As if I'd flee. Eat first, talk later. I looked at him. Do you really not get it? From this day forward, I won't touch your family's food. What now? It's simple, I said. Your family used a meal to tell me. I have no place at your table. So I won't sit. The elevator descended. In the mirror, his face crumbled as we hit ground floor. I didn't let him walk me out. Just walked right out of the building. Blazing sun, the osmanthus hadn't bloomed yet. Leaves gleamed, green so sharp it stung. The security guard was sitting in his booth, eating a boxed lunch. Just tomato eggs and wilted greens in plastic. He was shoveling it in fast, enjoying every mouthful. A hunger hit me, all at once. A real hunger. Up since 6 a.m. to serve tea. Playing the part until 9 a.m. with Zhao Fengqin. Kitchen till 11, lectures on fish head direction. Chicken leg order, no spoon touching the bowl. Not a sip of water. Hunger wasn't worst. The worst, seeing clearly some invite you in. Not to sit down and share a meal with them, but to stand up and serve them theirs. Cab at the gate. Driver asked where. I said my parents' street. We drove off. The trees on the sidewalk receded, one by one. I fished out my phone. On the screen was the group photo from the wedding day. Zhou Jingchuan and I were smiling so beautifully. Like a pair of truly blessed newlyweds. I stared at that picture for 3 seconds. Then I locked the screen. And tossed the phone back into my bag. The noodle lady knows me. I'm in a new red dress. My hair still pinned up in that post-wedding style. She spotted me instantly and froze. Whoa, Shaowan. Newlywed, first day, why are you alone? I took the window seat, dropped my bag. Chinyi. Tomato egg noodles, extra scallions. Wait, you hate them. I just smiled. I felt like it today. Funny how it works, isn't it? When life knocks you down, you crave what you avoid. As if swapping flavors could change your breath. The noodles arrived fast, steaming in a crimson broth. Golden fried egg, scallions floating on top, smelling like a promise. I grabbed my chopsticks. First bite in my new life. Nearly broke me. Not from the heartache. Just the heat. And that felt good. My phone buzzed nonstop inside my bag. 7 calls from Zhou Jingchuan. 3 voice messages from Zhao Fengqin. You sent an eye roll emoji on WeChat, followed by another. I ignored every call. Finished the noodles. Went home. Mom was out, at her community line dancing thing. Dad was fixing his radio on the balcony. A few turns. Pause, listen. Another turn. He saw me walk in, glanced up. Then went back to work. You eat? Yeah. Full? Full. He nodded. No questions about why I came home on my wedding day. My dad's no good with comforting words, but he has this gift. He never chases you down for reasons when your heart's a hurricane. As he always says, if the pot boils over, kill the heat first. Don't obsess over which grain of salt was the culprit. I went to my old room. Still had the light blue sheets. The same set I used back in college. Edges worn almost white from too many washes. My old desk lamp, the one I never bothered to take, still there. Shade covered in a sticker I bought in high school. A cartoon cat clutching a rice bowl. Deep in the drawer, last thing inside. A red journal. Started it a month before the wedding. Cover had a tiny sticker of a rice bowl too. Bought it on impulse. Sat down, opened to page 1. First line, surveillance log, the Zhou family dinner table. Next, first dinner. Zhao gave Jingchuan the last chicken leg. Eat up. In front of me? Cold cucumber salad, stir-fried greens. Page 3, Zhou Xiaoyu posted my fruit online. Caption, brother's wife equals better life. Manage, but she can help us safeguard major expenses. Keep the young folks from wasting cash. None of the entries were long. But after every single one, I'd marked the date and the exact time. Back then, I wasn't planning a war. Something just felt off, instinctively. Each line was a splinter, but enough. And you start to see the shape of the garment they're sewing for you. I didn't turn the tables right away. I wanted to know who the garment fit. Now I see, it was made for me. I picked up a pen. I added a line under today's date, first meal as a married woman. Zhou Jingchuan publicly said I wasn't worthy to eat first. After writing that, I paused for a moment. Then I slowly wrote a second line, from this day on. I will not touch a single bite of food from the Zhou household. The evening light fell on the paper, quiet as dust. I knew that meal was just getting started. Zhou Jingchuan showed up at 8:30 p.m. My dad was holding his enamel mug, watching the evening news replay. My mom had just gotten home from her square dancing group. A red silk flower in her hair, face flushed. Radiating heat. The doorbell rang. My mom shot me a look, didn't ask, and went to open the door. Zhou Jingchuan stood in the doorway. He was holding a box of bird's nest and a bag of fruit. He's damn good at this. No matter how annoyed he really is. He keeps the perfect facade. He greeted them immediately. Mom, Dad. His voice was so gentle, so perfectly composed. You'd never think he'd said I wasn't worthy to eat first hours ago. He set the gifts down by the coffee table, back ramrod straight. Like chairing a meeting. Mom, Dad, I'm here for Wanwan. My dad didn't get up. He just turned the TV down a little. Mom smiled politely. Ning Yuan, eaten yet? Yes, I have. Well, sit down for a minute then. Zhou Jingchuan sat. Mom chopped fruit loudly in the kitchen. Thud, thud, like hacking something she hated. My dad took a slow sip of tea. And asked, leisurely, was the food to your liking today? He asked it so calmly. But Zhou Jingchuan flinched. I was curled up in the armchair. I didn't help him out. He had to answer. Dad, just a misunderstanding today. Dad nodded. Good. A misunderstanding can be resolved. Jingchuan's expression tightened. It really wasn't a big deal. My mother's a little old-fashioned. She cares about rules. It wasn't personal against Wanwan. We had relatives over, and she just wanted things to look proper. My dad nodded again. Oh? To make who look proper? Silence fell over the living room. Mom came out with apples, barely holding back a laugh. She had to arrange them, all slices uneven, some chunks big enough to choke a horse, others thin as tissue paper. She did it on purpose. Zhou Jingchuan looked at me. Like he wanted me to smooth things over. I didn't move. He had to keep going. Dad, I know what I said today was harsh. But Wanwan walking out like that, it really embarrassed my mother. Do you think you were wrong? Or that I should have come back and saved face for your family? Zhou Jingchuan frowned. Lin Wan. Can we not put it like that? Then how should I put it? I asked. Say it was a mistake? She meant well? I'm too sensitive? You already said all that this afternoon. Try something new. His face fell. My mom pushed the fruit plate toward him. Ning Yuan, have an apple. Take your time. Don't rush. Marriage takes communication. Communication isn't one person taping the other one's mouth shut. Zhou Jingchuan pressed his lips into a thin line. I knew he hated that kind of talk from my mom. Too blunt. No soft landing. Mom sold fabric at a co-op young. She reads people, genuine or fake. She measures you with one look and knows exactly what you're worth. After a while, Zhou Jingchuan said quietly, Wanwan. I shouldn't have said that. Which part? He paused. See? You can't even apologize specifically. He sighed. I shouldn't have said you can't eat first. Why shouldn't you have? Because that was hurtful. And? He was getting annoyed. What else do you want me to say? I met his eyes. Some apologies are like cold leftovers. Brought out just to shut people up. Not to actually feed anyone. It's not that you shouldn't have said that one thing. Zhou Jingchuan fell silent. Silence stretched. Dad turned off the TV. Just the wall clock ticking. Tick, tick. Like it was counting down something. After a long while, Zhou said, it's always been this way. Mom suffered. She's sensitive about this. Can't you just be a little more considerate of her? I snapped, show me some consideration. He stared. No answer. The last warmth in me died. Slowly went cold. Today it's a meal. What's it going to be tomorrow? First no chopsticks, now no head seat? Then what, slave from dawn to dusk each new year? Eating last? Her pain. I must relive it? That's considerate? Zhou Jingchuan stood up. Walked to the balcony. A few pots there. My dad grew them. They're untamed. Stems shooting every which way. Just like that radio he can't fix but can't bear to throw away. Ugly with conviction. His back was to me. He muttered, you always blow things up. I laughed. You always dress up real problems. He turned. Wanwan, I'm stuck. It's hard. You're not in the middle, I said. You're on your mother's side. And I should pity your struggle? Words hit. Anger flashed in his eyes. Lin Wan. You're forcing me to pick a side? I shook my head. I'm not forcing you. Already picked. He left. It was clear the conversation was over. Before he walked out, he lowered his voice. He muttered. Mom's BP spiked. At least send her a message. Saying what? Say you're sick. Dine later. I looked at him. It suddenly felt absurd. Even now. He was still trying to script my tone, my attitude, my exit strategy. Zhou Jingchuan. Do you actually believe that if I just say, I was upset, everything that happened today becomes my fault? I answered for him. Exactly. After he left, my mom shut the door. Her vibe was off from day one. During the wedding rehearsal, the way she watched you serve tea, she eyed you like a flaw. My dad put his teacup down. No point saying this now. My mom glared at him. Oh, so what is useful to say? My dad thought for a moment. First, let the kid eat something. I couldn't help but laugh. My mom laughed too. She laughed, teary-eyed. Ate nothing? Not a thing. You hungry? Had noodles. From where? Auntie Chen's. Mom relaxed. Fine. Her tomato and egg noodles always fill you up properly. A mother's love is sometimes so concrete. So specific that when you've suffered the worst humiliation, she feeds you first. Past 10 p.m. I got out of the shower and found dozens of messages on my phone. In the Zhou family group chat, Zhao Fengqin had posted a long, rambling message. She didn't name names, but everyone knew she was talking about me. Young wives these days. Spoiled kids. They don't get us. Walking out before a single bite of dinner. Relatives stranded. Shopped at 5 a.m. Even got my hand stabbed by fish bones. And what did I get in return? I'm not eating at your house. A parade of relatives chimed in underneath. The eldest aunt said, the young really need to learn some manners. Uncle, Jingchuan's a saint. Cousin, sigh emoji. Happy family. Zhou Xiaoyu was the most eager of all. 3 texts, sis-in-law's too touchy. 1 remark and she plays victim. I stared at the screen. I wasn't angry. I just found it ridiculous. They shame me with rules. When they need me to bow my head, it's about family unity. When they push me out, it's all about the in-laws' prerogative. But need me to save face, family. I played Zhao Fengqin's voice message. Her voice was dripping with feigned grievance. A well-rehearsed, manipulative indictment. Xiaowan, Mom really didn't expect you'd have such a temper. With all those relatives, how can I face anyone now? If you think I did something wrong, you can tell me in private. How could you shame me in public on your first day here? Imagine what people will say about the Zhou family now. I heard the message, saved it, then opened the red ledger to the second page. I wrote 4 words down, mold the narrative. I listed them, Zhao Fengqin spinning public humiliation as setting expectations by playing the victim. Zhou Jingchuan demanding I text to take emotional blame. Zhou Xiaoyu using sensitivity as a cheap substitute for the truth. When I was done, I capped my pen. My phone lit up again. This time, it was from Surua Qing. She's my coworker and was my bridesmaid. That day, after half a glass of champagne, she griped the Zhou rituals dragged on. 1 more toast, she'd recite their whole family tree. Her text, girl, you skipped the bridal suite on your wedding night. I smell tea. I wrote back, it's not tea. It's dinner. She replied instantly, how was dinner? I saw her text. And typed, slowly, they said I wasn't qualified to eat first. Surua Qing fell silent for a full minute. Then sent a voice message. I played it. Her voice was as cold as the back of a freezer. Linwan. Marriage isn't charity, nor a factory line. Where are you right now? Are you safe? Are you hungry? Don't decide life on low blood sugar. I laughed out loud. But after the laugh, my eyes stung. I replied, I'm safe. I've eaten. These calls aren't low sugar. They're crystal clear. She said, good. Don't rush into the fight. Note their words first. Once people see you as soft, they'll overplay their hand. Wait till they've gone far enough. Then flip the lights on. Those words stirred something. Truth is, I'd already turned on a small light before all this. That red ledger was my light. I don't plan to use it to illuminate anyone else. I just didn't want to be led through the dark, stumbling. 11:30 p.m. Zhou Jingchuan called again. I answered. His voice was drained, like he'd been awake for days. Linwan, when are you coming home? I stood by the window, watching the street lamp stretch tree shadows. Home where? Our home, he said. A dinner table makes a home. That table of yours? No seat for me. He paused. Tomorrow, I'll pick you up. We'll eat alone. Not tomorrow. Why not? I had the chore list pinned to the red ledger's last page. Written by Zhao Fengqin before our wedding. She said we'd have a dinner party 3 days after the wedding. A chance for me to get to know the close relatives. I had other plans. Plans? A single meal. Next morning, work as usual. I still had 3 days of honeymoon leave left. Surua Qing saw me at the office entrance. Her soy milk nearly dropped. What are you doing here? Second day married. Shouldn't you be on cloud 9? Instead, you're here sucking in printer fumes? The air at home wasn't exactly fresh. She eyed me. You look fine. Not dead from suffocation. Yet. Almost. The colleagues inside didn't know about yesterday's events. They teased me, asking why the bride was so devoted to work. I smiled back, handing out the wedding bonbons. Leftovers from yesterday's ceremony. The wrappers were printed with my name and Zhou Jingchuan's. Red background, gold letters, embossed double happiness. As I tossed the candies into the communal snack basket, I felt a strange stillness. A wedding is a spectacle, a marriage is a silent, private solitude. Candy's sweetness has nothing to do with getting a seat. Suruo Qing pulled me into the break room. She handed me a piece of chocolate. Blood sugar first. Never make life decisions when your glucose is low. But your mind is perfectly clear for a life reckoning. I laughed. You just said that last night. Important things bear repeating. Stop that romantic fantasy from flaring up. I don't have a hopeless romantic lobe. If you really didn't. At rehearsal, your mother-in-law made you practice the tea ceremony 6 times. You'd have asked if she was hiring geisha apprentices. I burst out laughing. When I stopped, I pulled the red ledger from my bag. Suruo Qing raised an eyebrow at the cover. Ooh la la. A red grudge book? An observation log. Same thing? A grudge book records feelings. An observation log records facts. She gave me a thumbs up. Now that's what I'm talking about. You sound ready to booby-trap the kitchen with mousetraps. I opened the book and showed her. From that first pre-wedding dinner at the Zhou house. From wedding tea ceremony to yesterday's single dinner line. Every detail was there. Time, location, people, direct quotes. I even noted the order Zhao Fengqin picked up her food. Suruo Qing's face grew more and more still as she read. When she read, a woman must know her place once married. She let out a dry, mirthless laugh. She knows. Wait, does she? Why not sell her at the farmer's market? Don't insult her, that's letting her off easy. She looked at me. So what's your plan? I closed the book. I'm not eating at their table. That's it. She paused, then light dawned. They set rules at dinner. So you send the table back. No fighting, no grabbing, no doing. And no eating. Wait long enough, and they'll panic. I nodded. She bit into the chocolate square. Sharper than any argument. If you fight, they call you a shrew. But if you simply stop eating, they can only ask you why. And every time they ask, you answer. Exactly. And what about Zhou Jingchuan? I said nothing. Suruo Qing sighed. Still not over him? I watched steam rise from a breakfast cart below. Someone was rushing for the bus, gnawing on a bun. Chaotic. Pathetic. It's not that I'm not over him, I said. I just want to see how far he'll go. You owe it to the person you once chose. A little closure. Not for his dignity. For the answer you owe your former self. 10:30 a.m. Zhao Fengqin called. I ignored it. A WeChat message popped up. Xiaowan. Mom crossed a line too. I made chicken soup. Come by after work. A newlywed woman can't neglect her health. Attached was a photo. The soup tureen sat on the dining table. A dozen or so goji berries floating on top. Sickeningly red. Pickles beside it, a bowl peeking out. Zhou Jingchuan's usual blue-glazed porcelain bowl. I stared at the photo for a long moment. Saved it. Suruo Qing leaned over. Let me guess. A trap dressed as dinner? She wants me to come over for soup. Are you going? No. I replied to Zhao Fengqin. Thank you, but no. She texted back, family doesn't hold grudges. I typed back. I'm not upset. I'm executing. Executing what? As of yesterday, I don't touch food from the Zhou family. After I sent that, the typing indicator flickered for a long time. A voice message came. I played it. Her voice had sharpened an octave. Xiaowan. Why must you be so stubborn? It's just a meal. Don't exaggerate. I'm offering an olive branch. Still on your high horse? Ungrateful. I didn't reply. Olive branches. When some people offer one, they want you to climb down. When others offer one, they support you while you kneel. Noon. Suruo Qing and I grabbed a casual lunch downstairs. She got spicy pot, I got a combo. When the bill came, she snatched the QR code. My treat today. To celebrate your independence from the Zhous. Hardly worth a celebration. Definitely worth it. The first time in your life you reject an unequal meal? She added a chicken leg to my order. I stared at the drumstick on my plate. I flashed back to my first visit to their home. There had been chicken legs on the table that day too. 2 of them. Zhao Fengqin placed one in Zhou Jingchuan's bowl, and the other in Zhou Jinggua's. She looked at me and said, "Xiao Wan. Young ladies shouldn't eat greasy food. Bad for skin." At that moment, I smiled and said thank you. But now, looking back, someone sharpened the knife. I praised the handle. 3 p.m. Zhou Xiaoyu texted me, "Sis-in-law. My mom made you soup, and you wouldn't even drink it? You're trapping my brother." Texted, "What trap? Between you and mom? Did he eat lunch?" Paused. "Yeah, he did. Mom? She ate. Did you eat?" "Of course. So you all ate." Who exactly is in a tough spot? Zhou Xiaoyu didn't reply. 10 minutes later, she posted a status update. Photo, chicken soup. Caption, some miss good deeds. Sincere intentions met with ingratitude. She forgot to block me. Or, more likely, she wanted me to see it. I clicked on the photo and noticed a tiny shadow next to the soup tureen. Her face didn't show the hurt of a victim. Instead, it held the thrill of someone waiting for the show to start. I saved a screenshot of that post. After work, Zhou Jingchuan was waiting for me outside my office building. He wore a gray jacket, held flowers. The roses were very fresh, the wrapping paper too extravagant. Tied with a gold ribbon, like a hastily rehearsed apology. My coworkers passed by and teased, a groom picking up his bride. Ah, newlywed bliss is so sweet. Zhou Jingchuan played along with a tender smile. He handed me the flowers. "Wan Wan. Let's talk." I took them, but didn't embrace them. Hands at sides. Booked a restaurant. "I'm not eating." Smile froze. "Not families. A real one." I stared at him. "Do you think the kitchen is the problem here?" He lowered his voice. "This is your office building. Don't let colleagues see drama." I laughed. He nailed the least important, most decent detail. Next door cafe. Nearly empty. A guy with headphones was doing homework in the corner. And the owner was lazily wiping glasses behind the counter. Zhou Jingchuan ordered me a hot latte. He ordered black Americano. Loves coffee machines. "That 5,000 yuan machine at home?" I paid. He said he'd make me coffee every morning. But so far, all he's done is watch latte art videos. Never cleaned the portafilter. Set flowers down. Idly rubbing a finger along the stem of a rose. "Wan Wan. I know I handled yesterday badly. I talked to my mom. She won't embarrass you. Regrets too." "Regrets what?" He froze again. Regret in the Zhou family is abstract. They regret public scenes or awkward relatives. She's sorry I didn't play along. But not sorry she tried to push me under the bus. Zhou Jingchuan stirred his coffee. Steam veiled his face. "My mom's generation is like that. Not evil, just expects a diligent daughter-in-law. Look, she went through the exact same thing back in the day. She was treated like that, so now she's treating me the same way." Valid excuse? It's context, not an excuse. Context explains a person's behavior. It doesn't mean I have to endure it. He fell silent. I took a sip of my latte. It was bitter. The aroma was so strong it couldn't mask that acrid edge. "What'll make you come home?" "Which home?" "Ours. Not your mom's." "Of course not." "Can she enforce her rules on our marriage?" He frowned. "Don't be absolute. She'll visit." "Visiting is fine. Laying down the law is not." Wan Wan. Family's not a company. Can't draw rigid lines. Yesterday she drew one on me eating first. No comeback. Cup clinked down. A soft, definitive click. "Zhou Jingchuan. From today on, I won't eat your mother's cooking. I won't attend her arranged dinners. No food-wrapped apologies. If you want to talk, then get to the root of what happened yesterday." He looked at me. His expression was unreadable. "So you're punishing us?" "No," I said. "I'm withdrawing from your game." When I left the coffee shop, Zhou Jingchuan didn't offer to see me out. Roses cloying, I reached the corner. I glanced at them. Gave them to a sweet potato vendor. She jumped in surprise. Dear, giving me such nice flowers? Boyfriend trouble? Sobering up, not trouble. She laughed. They'll sit by the roaster. Today's batch will come out smelling like roses. I laughed too. Back at my parents' house, I opened my phone. I saw Zhou Xiaoyu had posted a new short video. She ranted online, new sisters-in-law are impossible. Soup refused. Flowers met with ice. All modern wives this entitled? As she spoke, the camera jostled slightly. In the background, Zhao Fengqin was on the phone with a relative. No soup? Fine. Let's see how long he stays silent. Skip dinner day 3. I'll show relatives his wife's true colors. Video saved. Third ledger page turned. I wrote down, day 3 banquet. Zhao Fengqin tried to use family to pressure me. My pen paused for a moment. I added one more line, perfect. The table is big enough. Big enough to show everyone's masks. Day 3. Zhao Fengqin came to my parents' house in person. She arrived holding a thermal soup container in her hand. Silk scarf, fresh lipstick, ready. She didn't look like she was delivering soup. She came to reclaim ground. Mom opened the door. She smiled with overwhelming warmth. Oh, in-law, you're home. I came to check on Xiaowan. My mom smiled back. Oh, Fengqin, you're here. Come in, quick. Why bring gifts? So polite. 2 moms at door. One smiles with knives, the other with a spatula. The air filled with the strained pleasantries of 2 adults sparring. Zhao entered, set down soup. Xiaowan. Mom made chicken soup. You skipped yesterday. Mom couldn't sleep all night. I kept thinking you just got married. Your body can't afford to be run down. I sat on the sofa, journal in hand. Thanks. Not drinking. Her smile flickered. Mom offered tea. Zhao Fengqin didn't take it. She sat down directly across from me, her voice turning soft and gentle. Xiaowan, Mom didn't come here today to fight with you. We're family, talk it out. You stayed out. Ning Yuan's upset. He's quiet, forgive him. He's not a man of few words, I said. He was extremely articulate about how I wasn't qualified to eat. Zhao Fengqin finally started to crack. Here you go again. Why do you keep clinging to that one sentence? Mom came all the way here today. What more do you want? My mom sat beside us, peeling an apple leisurely. The peel spiraled down in one continuous strand. Unbroken, like her patience. Watching took effort. Seeing that I remained silent, Zhao Fengqin's tone softened again. Xiaowan, a woman can't be too rigid in life. Pour Mom a cup of tea. Call me Mom, say it's a mistake, done. I'm not petty. Got you a red packet. Then, she pulled out a thick, bulky red envelope from her bag. The packet landed, silent but stinging. I stared. Realization, not reconciliation. Assimilation. Take it, pour tea, call her Mom. Yesterday's dinner would be rewritten as my immaturity. Every time I brought it up in the future, they could always say, see? You admitted fault then. Before I spoke. Doorbell rang. Mom opened. Door swung. The neighbor, Chen Guilan, poked half her body inside. In her hands was a plate of freshly fried radish balls. Steaming hot, Xiaowan, right? I fried too many. Brought some over for you. Oh, you have company? My mom's eyes lit up. Guilan, perfect timing. Come, sit down. Zhao Fengqin's face instantly changed color. I almost burst out laughing. Chen Guilan, that woman. Everyone in the complex knows her. She's not malicious. Just observant. Whose pipe burst? Whose kid failed a test? Whose son-in-law showed up empty-handed? She could piece together the whole story just from the grocery line. Saw thermos and red envelope. Her eyes lit up. Oh my, is this soup delivery or a tribute? Zhao Fengqin smiled stiffly. I'm Xiaowan's mother-in-law. Just checking in on the kids. Chen Guilan sat down, grabbed a seed. Third day. And the mother-in-law delivers soup herself? How proper. My mom handed her tea. Isn't it? All Shawan has to do is pour a cup of tea, call me mom. Chenguelan seed cracking paused for a beat. Tea ceremony, she deadpanned. It made Zhao Fengqin's face turn green. My mom cut the peeled apple into slices. Stuck toothpicks in them. Guilan, have some? Chen Guilan ate a slice. Then looked at the thermos again. So, is this soup safe to drink? Zhao Fengqin jumped in immediately. Of course it is. I woke up at 5 to simmer it. Chen Guilan nodded. Looks nourishing. She paused, then added. Sounds suspiciously attentive. My mom stifled a cough. I couldn't help it. The corner of my mouth twitched up. Zhao Fengqin finally lost her cool. Ma'am. You might not understand our family's affairs. I don't. Chen Guilan was utterly sincere. I don't like meddling, she said, cracking another seed. Not blind. Awkward silence. Zhao Fengqin took a deep breath. Turned to me. Shawan. So this is how you let outsiders laugh at me? Auntie Chen is my neighbor, not an outsider. All those relatives at your dinner table yesterday. You didn't treat them like outsiders either. She was trapped. My mom continued, gently twisting the knife. Fengqin, don't be upset. Didn't you say family should speak frankly? Guilan isn't an outsider. She's discreet. Chen Guilan waved her hands quickly. No, not discreet at all. My mouth is a megaphone. If it's private, I'll leave. Tried to rise, stayed put. The scene turned absurd, like an unscripted skit. And then, right then, Zhou Xiaoyu's video call lit up Zhao Fengqin's phone. Zhao Fengqin was probably flustered. Her hand slipped. She answered it. Zhou Xiaoyu's voice burst out immediately. Ma. Did she apologize? Take the red envelope? Film it. I'll edit a family reconciliation video to post online. Shut all those relatives up. The living room went dead silent. Zhao Fengqin's face drained of color. She hung up in a panic. Chen Guilan stopped cracking sunflower seeds. Mom set the knife down, chuckling. Oh, really? Still completing your filming assignment, are we? Fengqin panicked. Xiaoyu's talking nonsense. She films everything, no boundaries. I grabbed my phone. My voice was perfectly calm. I just recorded that. Zhao Fengqin's eyes snapped to me. You recorded what? From when you made me pour tea and call you, Ma. Perfect for a family reunion video. Got the whole backstory, beginning, middle, and end. Her face cycled from red to white. Lin Wan. What's wrong with you? She feigned heartbreak. As if I hadn't just recorded her voice on my phone, but taken a hammer to her family's ancestral shrine. I looked right at her. I've always been this way. I used to smile at everything you said. Now that I'm not smiling, you think I've changed. Zhao Fengqin grabbed her insulated soup jar and stood up to leave. My mom called after her. Fengqin? Not leaving the soup? She froze mid-step. Chen Guilan added, with complete sincerity, don't be wasteful. Silky chicken's expensive. Zhao Fengqin's back stiffened, rigid as a water-damaged chopstick. Since Shaowan won't drink it, she said through clenched teeth. I'll take it back. Safe travels. The door clicked shut. The apartment held its breath for 2 full seconds. Then Chen Guilan slapped her thigh. Oh honey. Shaowan, they don't want a daughter-in-law. They want an intern, probation, tests, the lot. My mom finally burst out laughing. So did I. When the laughter faded, Chen Guilan leaned in again, her voice dropping low. Shaowan. Auntie's blunt, your mother-in-law's not just difficult. Difficult people just nitpick the salt in the soup. She's testing to see if you'll bow your head. I nodded. I know. She eyed me. Your plan? Wait for dinner. Chen Guilan didn't quite catch my meaning, but she was absolutely thrilled. You need Auntie as a witness? I might have a fast mouth, but I've got an excellent memory. When she ordered tea and ma, I heard it all. Mom, give it a rest with the picture taking. Chen Guilan wouldn't back down. I'm serving justice. Then Dad appeared on the balcony. Before you judge. Bring over the radish fritters. I've been smelling them forever. The tension finally eased a little. I picked one up. Crispy on the outside, so hot inside it numbed my tongue. Sometimes, life is just like that. Someone shoves soup in your face, demanding submission. Someone else hands you a plate of fritters. You realize warmth still exists. That afternoon, Zhou Jingchuan called. His voice was heavy. You let neighbors shame my mom today. I checked my planner. Your mom came demanding I admit fault. The neighbors happened to overhear. Don't twist the order, Lin Wan. Why are you so harsh with your words now? The facts are harsh. I'm not the one being harsh. He paused. My mom cried. That's your reaction? Did she take her soup with her when she cried? What's that supposed to mean? I'm just checking she didn't waste food. Zhou Jingchuan let out a dry, furious laugh. You think this is funny? Not funny, I said. Funnier than you two thinking soup counts as an apology. His breathing grew heavier on the other end. Tomorrow's family dinner. Are you coming or not? Finally. I glanced at the list tucked inside my planner. Zhao Fengqin's calling tomorrow's meal an acknowledgement dinner. She's invited the Zhou family elders, the ones who love rules the most. Plus a few younger relatives. She wants everyone sitting there, pressuring me to bow my head, to be reasonable, to swallow those words, I won't touch your food. Yes. Zhou Jingchuan sighed in relief. Then stay out of trouble. Just come, eat, apologize to my mom, and it's over. I slowly closed my notebook. I'll come, but I won't eat. Lin Wan. You set your table. I'll keep my word. After I hung up, I opened Zhou Xiaoyu's short video profile. Her latest post was already deleted, but I'd saved it. That line in the video, did you give the red envelope? Record it. I replayed it twice. Then I dropped it into a newly created folder. I named the folder the dinner table. The Zhou family dinner was set for 6 in the evening. When I arrived, the red double happiness sticker by the door still hung, corners curling, like a mouth exhausted from smiling. Zhao Fengqin opened the door herself. She wore a maroon cardigan, her hair brushed immaculate. The moment she saw me, a smile snapped into place. Xiao Wan's here. Come in, quick. Everyone's waiting. Her voice was soft. Dangerously soft. Like a blade hidden in cotton. The living room was packed. Aunt, second uncle, cousin, great uncle. And those younger relatives from yesterday. All of them, there. Zhou Xiaoyu was pretending to check her phone. But the camera was secretly angled at the door the whole time. Zhou Jingchuan came over to take my bag. I didn't give it to him. His hand froze in midair. He looked a little embarrassed. Wan, have a seat. I glanced at the dining room. A huge, 12-person round table. Half the dishes were out. Steamed fish, pork belly, shrimp, scallops. Smelled amazing. Steamed fish, pork belly, shrimp, scallops with garlic. Smelled incredible. But there were only 11 chairs. The one that was missing was mine. Next to the kitchen door, they'd placed a tiny round stool. A low, pathetic thing, right next to a basin for veggie scraps. Zhao Fengqin followed my gaze and smiled. Xiao Wan, don't take this the wrong way. We've got a full house today. Just sit over there for now. A hardworking bride is a blessing. You're near the kitchen, so serving will be easy. Everyone will appreciate it. My aunt chimed in, exactly. A diligent young wife brings good fortune. My second uncle nodded along. Back in my day, a new daughter-in-law would never dream of just sitting around waiting to be served. Zhou Jingchuan lowered his voice. Wan, just sit down. I'll get you a better chair later. Better? He avoided my eyes. Don't get hung up on a seat. A small laugh escaped me. Yesterday, it was a bite of food. Today, it's a chair. They have 1,000 ways to shrink your place until it's tiny. So tiny that if you complain, you look like the unreasonable one. But all those little slights, they add up. They determine whether you can hold your head high in your own family. I set my bag down on the entryway cabinet. I didn't sit. You're right, Mom. A new wife should help. That's how you win everyone over. A flicker of a triumphant smile crossed Zhao Fengqin's face. She thought I'd given in. I went to the kitchen, washed my hands, and tied an apron around my waist. The tension faded. The relatives' voices lightened. Zhou Xiaoyu whispered into her phone, see? My sister-in-laws all talk. I heard her. I didn't turn around. They wanted to see a hardworking new bride? Fine. I'd give them a show. I arranged the bowls and chopsticks. Father-in-law's bowl at the head. Chopsticks to the right, resting neatly. Soup spoon beside the bowl. Zhao Fengqin's bowl was next to his. I swapped her spoon for porcelain. Aunt likes soft food. I moved the pork belly to her. Uncle has bad teeth. I poured him half a bowl of soup. Zhou Xiaoyu loves shrimp. I turned the shrimp to her and set gloves beside it. I moved fast, smiled perfectly. For each person. I whispered, Auntie, help yourself. Uncle. Have your soup hot. Xiaoyu, shrimp's right there. Stop just filming everything. Zhou Xiaoyu's face flushed. She slapped her phone face down on the table. The smile on Zhao Fengqin's face slowly faded. Her obedience seemed too perfect, not like remorse. It looked staged. Dishes served, soup ladled. Everyone was seated. I was the only one still standing. Zhou Jingchuan frowned. Sit down. I glanced at the little stool by the kitchen door. Sit where? A hush fell over the table. Zhao Fengqin rushed to say, oh, dear. Ning Yuan, go grab a chair. I stopped him. Don't bother. Mom said I sit by the kitchen for easier serving. We can't break the Zhou family rules. Zhao Fengqin's face went rigid. The eldest aunt smiled, trying to smooth things over. Xiaowan, your mother-in-law was just thinking out loud. Right? I looked at Zhao Fengqin. Mom, was that just a passing thought? Or is it a Zhou family rule? Her mouth twitched. Why so literal, child? Just afraid of mistakes. I took the spoon and stood by the table. Yesterday, first meal after the wedding, I barely lifted my bowl. When Ning Yuan reminded me, elders eat first, men get soup. And the guests haven't taken a bite, I'm not qualified to eat first. Today, Mom's new rule, stay close to the kitchen. Makes serving easier. So I follow. Silence thick at the table. Second uncle's chopsticks froze over the shrimp. Wrong move. And not picking one up was wrong. My cousin stole a glance at Zhou Jingchuan. Zhou Jingchuan's face had gone pale. Lin Wan. Do you have to do this today? When else should I do it? I stared right at him. Didn't you invite them to see my rule following? Zhou Xiaoyu muttered under her breath, sis-in-law. Stop the passive aggression. I looked at her. You recording? She panicked instantly. And no, it's not. I smiled. Good. Because in your video yesterday, Mom said to show them the crazy woman Jingchuan married. Just hope today's footage suffice. At that, the color drained completely from Zhao Fengqin's face. The eldest aunt frowned. Fengqin, did you really say that? Zhao Fengqin denied it instantly. I said that in anger. I nodded. That stool today, an angry stool? If Chen Guilan were here, she'd laugh. But no one in the Zhou living room did. Because that question was a trap. Agree with it, and you'd admit the stool was intentional. Ignoring it left the awkwardness steaming, like the soup. Zhou Jingchuan stood up and reached for my hand. Wan Wan. Let's talk outside. I stepped back. Don't touch me. What you said at the dinner table yesterday. You said it in front of everyone. I'm just repeating it in front of everyone today. His voice was strained tight. What exactly do you want? I want to understand one thing. Am I even qualified to eat at this family's table? When I said that, Auntie finally looked uncomfortable. Yesterday she told me it's no shame for a woman to bow her head. But today that damn stool is sitting right there. Nobody gets to pretend this is just me being overly sensitive anymore. A younger cousin scratched his head and whispered, Bro. He said, this is messed up, her first day as a bride. Was all this really necessary? Zhou Jingchuan's head whipped around to glare at him. The cousin shut up instantly, but the crack was already open. Some relatives don't care about justice. They just don't want to be seen as part of the problem. The moment they see sitting there makes them look guilty. Their instinct is to backpedal. Fast. Zhao Fengqin's eyes went red. Xiao Wan. You have a problem with me, but slander me like this? I got up at 5 to do the grocery shopping. I've been busy all day. All of it just to host a nice dinner for you. Now you say this in front of relatives? Trying to push me to death? The moment she started crying, Zhou Jinggua's face darkened instantly. Enough. Lin Wan. Your mother-in-law worked tirelessly for this meal. This is how you repay her? I looked at his father. How many bites did you take? He blinked, thrown off. What? Your chopsticks moved 3 times, 1 pork, 1 shrimp, half a bowl of soup. I said, I didn't eat a single bite. Zhou Jingguo flushed. Why keep track of that? Because I'm hungry. I said. Hungry people keep track. My voice wasn't loud, but it landed like a needle, puncturing right through Zhao Fengqin's sobs. A glint flickered in Zhou Jingchuan's eyes. Like he was finally remembering that from yesterday to today. Everyone's obsessed with face, rules, and relatives' opinions. But no one bothered to ask if I was hungry. So I took off my apron. Folded it on the counter. Family dinner today? Did my duty per Zhou rules. Served soup. Turned the lazy Susan, set the table, and played my minor role. Enjoy your meal. Zhao Fengqin panicked. You're leaving again? Grabbed my bag. Won't touch your food. The eldest aunt finally spoke. Xiaowan, sit down and eat a little. Let's just talk it out. I looked at her. Auntie. Not that I lack options. I'm rejecting this table. Silence. No one begged me to yield. As I reached the front door, Zhou Jingchuan caught up with me. His voice was much weaker than it had been days before. Choked out, Wan Wan. I didn't know about Xiaozi. I faced him. Your mother planned all this. Then you found out, and that's why you told me not to make a fuss. His face was ghostly pale. I was just afraid of an ugly scene. And? Is it pretty now? He couldn't answer. From inside the house came Zhao Fengqin's stifled sobs. And Zhou Xiaoyu's frantic explanations about the video. The relatives sat around the table. No one touched their chopsticks. Steaming feast now a hollow ritual. I opened the door, and the draft from the hallway rushed in, carrying away some of the greasy air. Before walking out, glanced at Zhou. Your family's table grace is a sham. But you've forgotten one thing. Decency isn't won by banishing someone to the kitchen sidelines. The door closed behind me. This time, no one ran after me. Bought a roasted sweet potato at the entrance. The female vendor recognized me and smiled. Missy. Still working on that hangover today? I took the hot potato. Broke it open to reveal the golden flesh. No hangover, just appetite today. The first bite burned my tongue, but it was sweet. My phone vibrated. Suru watching messaged me, battle report? Sent photo, first table flipped. After that family dinner, the Zhou house stayed silent for 2 days. During those 2 days, Zhao Fengqin didn't post in the family group chat. Zhou Xiaoyu didn't update her short videos. I heard the relatives barely ate that night before scattering. As the eldest aunt was leaving, all she said was, Fengqin. She's human, not your revenge tool. Chen Guilan heard that line at the wet market. She came to my place holding a bag of baby bok choy, whispering theatrically, Xiaowan. Your mother-in-law turned greener than my veggies. My mom told her to stop exaggerating. Chen Guilan insisted verbatim. I just smiled after she told me. I kept adding deleted video screenshots. Zhao Fengqin's retracted group messages. Zhou Jingchuan's apology texts. I kept them meticulously organized, everything in its place. Suru watching said I didn't seem like a woman on the verge of a divorce. More like a project manager prepping for an annual review. Marriage is a project, cut losses. She nodded. The only issue is, your client side's all shit. Night 3. Zhou Jingchuan came by. This time, no flowers, no soup. Just a chestnut cake, the one I used to love. When I opened the door, he was standing in the hallway, looking a complete wreck. His shirt was clean, but his hair wasn't quite so neat. Like life had finally chewed him up a little. Wan, let's talk. I led him into the living room. My parents weren't home. They'd gone for a walk downstairs. The apartment was quiet. Just the faint gurgle of the rice cooker from the kitchen. Jingchuan placed cake. You like this? I glanced at it. That was last year. His fingers paused. Tastes change. After losing table rights, I said. He winced. Do you have to make every single sentence cut? I just looked at him. Did you come here today to apologize? Or to ask me to put the claws away, so you can just keep going? Zhou Jingchuan was silent for a moment. The chair thing? I didn't know. I asked my mom. She said it just slipped her mind in the chaos. Believe that? He paused. You don't. But you want me to. His shoulders slumped. Lin Wan. I admit it. I got used to just going along with my mom, for a long time. She's run this house alone for years. Dad's shut down. All falls on her. Bossy, but not bad. I echoed. Bad. That bar is way too high. I only look at what she's actually done. So what do you want me to do? Cut her off completely? The agitation was finally bleeding into his voice. Jingchuan's move, pushed to absurdity. Like my shame refusal means disowning her. Not cut off, just boundaries, I said. Boundaries. He laughed short. Family's no place for them. There it was. I stood up, went to the bedroom, and came back with a folder. Zhou Jingchuan saw the label. And his brow twitched. What's this? Since you say a family has no boundaries. Then let's settle the score, like family. I opened the folder and laid out the papers. Here's the down payment for our home. My family paid 600K. The Zhou family contributed 300,000. The deed is in both my name and Zhou Jingchuan's. But in the family group chat, Zhao Fengqin said, getting a wife these days is so expensive. The Zhou family emptied their savings to buy the kids a house. Exhibit 2, the renovation costs. Flooring, cabinets, lighting, curtains. That coffee machine Zhou Jingchuan loves so much. More than half of it went on my credit card. Exhibit 3, wedding cash gifts from my side. Zhao Fengqin said she'd collect it all first. Later, she only gave us half. Said the rest went to cover the banquet balance. Exhibit 4, the post-wedding household duties. Zhao Fengqin casually dropped that at dinner. I wrote it down. Every time we go back to the Zhou house for a meal, Lin Wan is to arrive 2 hours early to help in the kitchen. For holidays, Lin Wan is responsible for buying the gifts. Since Zhou Jingchuan is so busy with work, the house cleaning should be handled by Lin Wan whenever possible. Xiao Yu's unmarried, so her sister-in-law should care for her. Zhou Jingchuan scanned them, frowning. When did you record this? The first time your mom said, we're family now. He looked up, conflicted. You've been wary of us all along. Not wary, I said. Your family talks so much, I feared forgetting. He set one of the pages down, his voice strained. Lin Wan. Is scorekeeping between spouses really necessary? When you demanded I follow the rules at dinner, you kept score more. Who picks up chopsticks first, who sits at the head, who pours soup, who's stuck in the kitchen. Now that it's time to settle. You say couples shouldn't be exact? He didn't argue. I continued. If we truly are family, then the house payments, the renovation costs, the gift money, it should all be an open book. If a woman marries in and is expected to put the family first, then tell me, when Zhou Xiaoyu comes home for dinner, will she also have to arrive at the kitchen 2 hours early? If I'm supposed to pour tea for your mother and admit I was wrong, then shouldn't mom also owe me a cup of tea? For making me lose my dowry on our first day? Zhou Jingchuan's head shot up. You want my mother to serve you tea? I smiled. See, the moment you hear that, it's unbearable. So why do you think I should have to bear it? His face went pale. In that instant, the weight of his own logic finally hit him. It wasn't painful, not heavy, but it was enough to shut him up. I slid the folder over. Go home, tell your mom, her rules. Light but enough to shut him up. She slid the folder to him. Go tell your mom her rules. I'll follow all those rules. She wants family? Fine, I'll calculate everything as one big, happy family. Don't just bring up tradition when it's time for me to bow my head. Then flip to modern thinking when you must pay or help. Zhou Jingchuan said, Lo, the way you're being right now. How are we supposed to live like this? That's my line, I said. How can we live like this when dinner is a hierarchy? He rubbed his temples. Voice weary. My mom is really struggling right now. All our relatives are talking behind her back. She's always been strong. It wasn't a mistake, I said. She can't stand other people seeing she made one. He said nothing. Footsteps came from the hall. My parents, probably. They paused outside the door, didn't come in. I knew they heard us talking inside. And were deliberately giving us space. Zhou Jingchuan looked at the folder. And suddenly said, Wan, did you never plan to make this work? The words hit like a cold needle. A sharp jab right to my chest. I looked at him, didn't speak for a long moment. Then I stood up, walked into the bedroom. And took out a different book. Not the red planner. A pale yellow recipe journal. I opened it for him to see. First week menu, Monday, tomato beef stir fry. Zhou Jingchuan likes the broth over his rice. Tuesday, sea base. Dad has high cholesterol, so go light on the oil. Wednesday, sweet and sour ribs. Xiaoyu loves these. Easy on the vinegar. Thursday, mushroom chicken soup. First time hosting mom and dad for dinner at hours after the wedding. Friday, practice with the espresso machine. Make a latte for Jingchuan. Zhou Jingchuan's eyes changed. I planned this. His eyes changed completely. I said I wanted to make it work. I wrote everyone's favorite food. His lips moved, barely. I closed the recipe journal. But I never imagined that when I was ready to sit down and share a meal with you all, you'd say I have no seat. Silence. This time, Zhou Jingchuan didn't try to explain on his mother's behalf. I'm sorry. Be specific. I shouldn't have shamed you at dinner. I shouldn't have told you to endure my mother's trap. I shouldn't have crushed you with face. This time, it felt like real apology. But apologies come late. You can't just instantly pretend they never happened. I said, I heard your apology. But this isn't over. He looked up. What else do you want? Your mom told all, I've no place. She said my family spoiled me rotten. Your Zhou feeds me, be grateful. Her words, she must take back. Zhou Jingchuan's expression shifted. That's impossible. My mother would never humble herself in public. Then I won't swallow my humiliation in public either. He panicked. Linwan, just let her save face. Who let me save mine? He deflated. He slumped against the back of the couch. His phone suddenly rang. It was Zhao Fengqin calling. Zhou Jingchuan glanced at the screen. He didn't pick up. But the call came again. A second time. A third. I said, answer it. He took the call and put it on speaker. Zhao Fengqin's voice immediately poured out. Tearful and furious. Ning Yuan. Are you with that Linwan? You tell her this for me. Aunt's still coming. If she acts up, she can forget about ever setting foot in this house again. Zhou Jingchuan's face went pale. I just looked at him. I didn't say a word. Xiao, rich family, so special? Married women swallow pride. I ate standing, no scene. No apology, just leave her. Let's see how long she can keep up this tough act. Zhou Jingchuan finally spoke. Mum. Enough. Zhao Fengqin froze. What did you say? I said, enough. I could see his hand trembling. His mom's peak, he didn't soothe. Line went quiet seconds. Then Zhao Fengqin exploded. Are you yelling at me for her? Did I raise you for nothing? Is that it? Zhou Jingchuan closed his eyes for a moment. He hung up. The only sound left in the living room was the dial tone. I didn't comfort him. First bitter truth, he'd swallow alone. He stood up, grabbing his folder. I'll go back and talk to her. At the door, he paused. Wan. I'll handle it. Don't manage her and me. Manage yourself. His back stiffened. Then he gave a slight nod and left. The moment the door clicked shut, my parents came in from the hallway. My dad had a bag of oranges in his hand, acting as if he hadn't heard a thing. He set the oranges on the table. They're really sweet. Have one. Tangerine burst, juice, sweet tart. On my phone, a message came in from Su Ruoqing. How did it go today? I told her, payback time. She shot back, skip the meal. But we settle the score. I stared at those words. I wrote them down in my red ledger. That night's entry was titled, Logic Strikes Back. I didn't see Zhou Jingchuan for 5 days after that. He sent a few messages. The first said he'd had a huge fight with Zhao Fengqin. The second said he'd moved back into our actual house. The third said he'd cleaned the espresso machine and learned the filter basket needed cleaning every time. That third text made me smile. Some men evolve when they learn appliances need more than good intentions. I skipped both the Zhou house and ours. Those 5 days, like I'd fled a runaway wedding and was piecing my old life back together. Up at 7 a.m. making millet porridge, feeding my sourdough starter, frying an egg, leaving 2 pieces of pumpkin for my parents. At the office by 8:30. Lunch with Su Ruoqing in the cafeteria. Afternoons on files. Evenings, walking home through markets. Buying a bunch of greens. 2 cucumbers. Sometimes, ribs. The market keeps me grounded. Nobody there asks if you know the rules. Nobody cares if you have the right to eat first. The vendor just asks, "Miss, you want them tender or firm? Ribs big or small? Want some cilantro?" The fairness of ordinary life. Sometimes it hides in plain sight, right there on the price tag. Chen Guilin often bumped into me at the market. She would be carrying a black tote, stuffed with eggs and tofu, discount tissues, and the latest news from the neighborhood. Xiao Wan. Your mother-in-law's been home, blood pressure up. I was picking out tomatoes. Did she see a doctor? I didn't hear. Well, then it can't be that serious. Chen Guilin paused, blinking. She laughed, nearly scrambling her eggs. That quiet mouth. It's spicier than a chili pepper. I'm genuinely concerned. High blood pressure means a doctor, not a group chat. Chen Guilin nodded. Right. Illness is illness. And drama is drama. She leaned in closer. But Jingchuan's been shopping himself. Saw him at the fish stall yesterday. Asked how to steam sea bass. Just steam it, he was told. Your husband asked if he could do it without adding coffee grounds. The tomato slipped. He really asked? Chen Guilin was dead serious. The monger stared like he'd crawled ashore. I finally cracked a genuine smile, my laugh melting into the market's bright noise. That knot in my chest loosened. But loosened isn't soft. I know that better than anyone. Sure, Zhou Jingchuan can clean a coffee machine now. He can buy groceries, and he can talk back to his mother. He sees the problem now, but seeing isn't fixing. That gap takes more than shared meals. Night 5. Su Ruoqing came over. She brought a bag of snacks. She said, I came to upgrade your grudge book. She pulled a few printed pages from her bag. The title, Zhou Family Rules, A Comparative Analysis. I almost burst out laughing. 4 columns. Column 1, Zhou Family Doctrine. Column 2, Target Audience. Column 3, Result if applied equally. Column 4, Absurdity Rating. Rule 1, No eating first for the new daughter-in-law. Elders, men, and guests have priority. Equal execution result, all new family members, including future sons-in-law and visiting married daughters, must wait until original family members have confirmed they may eat. 5 stars. Rule 2, Women must be industrious. Position near the kitchen to conveniently serve rice and soup. Equal execution result, whichever family one is visiting. That individual is responsible for kitchen duty. When Zhou Xiaoyu brings her boyfriend home, she must sit by the kitchen door. 4.5 stars. Rule 3, Family doesn't split hairs over money. Result, no one-way demands on marital home, renovation, gifts, elder care, housework, and holiday gifts are all transparent and shared equally. 6 stars. Over the top. I stared at that line of 6 stars. And couldn't help saying, this chart is methodologically flawed. Su Ruoqing crunched a chip. Emotional rigor is all. I put the chart on the table. I knew why it'd work. Not because it convinces Zhao Fengqin. People like that aren't afraid of logic. To her, logic is steamed veggies, healthy, refused. It's useful because the relatives will see it. These rules all fear one thing, role reversal. Swap daughter-in-law for daughter, son, or son-in-law. And those old-fashioned rules bare their fangs in an instant. Su Ruoqing took a sip of Coke. So, when are you planning to use it? I checked my journal, waiting for Zhao Fengqin to set the table again. And she will. I know her logic inside and out. She lost that first family dinner. She won't self-reflect, just thinks it lacked people, grandeur, and zhouref preparation. Her pride was shattered in that dining room once. So she'll seek a bigger win. And sure enough, the next morning, Zhou Jingchuan texted me, Mom wants to host a reconciliation dinner. Just close family from both sides. Talk it out. I stared at the screen and smirked. Su Ruoqing happened to walk by. She looked down. I said, her family's adding more I texted Zhou Jingchuan back, whose idea? He paused before typing, my mom's. She wants me to do something. She said just come to dinner, and we'll forget the past. No more rules. I typed out the location, the Zhou mansion. I deleted it. Typed again, not going. Zhou Jingchuan called immediately. I picked up. His voice was exhausted. Wan, I know you don't want to go to my mom's house. What about a restaurant? Neutral ground? Who's paying? He paused. Does it matter? Yes. Your mom wants peace. But you pay? So she claims she helped me? Let's keep the books clean. Silence on the line. Then, he said, I'll pay. That's not her reconciling. A switch flipped. I get it, he said softly. That afternoon, Zhou Jingchuan texted again, change of venue. Golden Dragon Palace. Mom's covering everything. She wants your parents there. I stared at that message, my fingers frozen. Golden Dragon Palace. Old school luxury. Perfect for banquets. And for respectable folks staging a classy trap. Not just dinner. She's dragging the bad daughter-in-law to bow publicly. I forwarded the text to Suru watching. Ambush, deluxe. I texted, great. We'll need a bigger table. That night, I told my parents. Mom's first thought, why go? To watch her show? My dad shelled a peanut. We go. My mom shot him a look. Why are you always so brief? Dad placed the peanut on the saucer. She invites us. To make us talk Xiaowan into kneeling. We don't go. She'll say Xiaowan's family is unreasonable. We go, we listen to what she has to say. My mom was quiet for a moment. Then don't just sit there sipping tea. Dad paused. I'll say a few words. Huge. My dad spent his youth as a fix-it guy in a factory. He rarely speaks. Agreeing to? Monumental. Meant this was no small matter in his heart. That night, I went back to the marital suite alone. My first time back since the whole mess. The door code hadn't changed. The living room was still full of leftover wedding balloons. Some balloons deflated, stuck like party skins. The kitchen was spotless. No dishes in the sink. The stove wiped down. A single post-it note sat next to the coffee machine. Zhou's note, pink bowl washed thrice. It still smells like coffee. I never knew how long it took you to clean up every day. I watched for a long time. Tucking the note into my planner isn't proof of forgiveness. It's part of the observation log. The fridge has groceries. Tomatoes, eggs, greens, and an unopened carton of milk. I made myself a bowl of noodles. Just as the water boiled, Zhou Jingchuan came back. He stood in the kitchen doorway. When he saw me, his eyes lit up. He steadied himself. You're back. Grab some things. And making noodles. He nodded, staying outside the kitchen. After a moment, he asked softly, can you make a bowl for me too? I paused. Fine, you wash. He nodded. Okay. That night, we each had a bowl of tomato and egg noodles. Sat on opposite ends of the table eating. No one waited to start. No one served the other soup. Halfway through, Zhou Jingchuan said, that dinner at the Golden Dragon Palace. I'll keep an eye on my mother. I won't let her give you a hard time. I looked up. You can't control her. He flushed. I added, control yourself. When tears start. When she gets mad, claims she's sick, says you're an ungrateful son. Will you still ask me to just step back again? His grip on his chopsticks tightened slowly. After a long pause, he said, I'll try. That's not enough. He stared at me. I finished my last bite of noodles. I put my chopsticks down. Zhou Jingchuan. At dinner, only you keep your seat. Pulling out a chair for me is pointless. You need to figure out exactly where you stand first. I didn't stay that night. Before I left our marital home, I turned off the kitchen light. The living room sank into darkness. Only the refrigerator glow remained, a small patch of light. Like a meal left out, not yet cold. The Golden Dragon Peace dinner was Saturday night. Zhao Fengqin started preparing 3 days in advance. She flooded the group chat with menus, room photos, and a post, happy family. Come witness. It rang like a solemn church bell to outsiders. In reality, it was a summons for everyone to watch me bow my head. I didn't reply in the group. Instead, I started contacting the attendees one by one. First was eldest aunt. I sent her a message, Auntie. Coming Saturday? Last meal was poor. Sorry for the trip. She replied fast, yes. We're family. Talk it out. I said, sure. Mom mentioned your cousin's house buying. The Zhou family lent you 50,000. Was it ever paid back? Balancing our books. Checking numbers. Silence for 10 minutes. Then eldest aunt replied, Shawan. Oh, that was just your mother-in-law casually helping out back then. It has nothing to do with you two as a couple. I said, I know. It's just that Mom always says family doesn't keep score. I wanted to settle the books to honor elders properly later. Auntie replied after half an hour, too precise hurts feelings. Don't take everything your mother-in-law says to heart. I smiled at the screen. When the bill lands on their own table. Family ties need a little mystery. Next was second uncle. I asked him, Uncle, you said a woman bowing in marriage isn't shameful. I want to ask you, if your daughter gets married someday, and in-laws make her eat in the kitchen corner, how would you tell her to cope? Second uncle sent a voice message. The first half was tough, depends on the situation, but the second half was weak. But you know, young people these days, we can't be so old-fashioned. I saved it. The third was my cousin. She loves posting on moments about how a woman needs boundaries. Last time, she preached happy family, happy life. I sent her, cousin. I saw you once wrote a piece on female empowerment. It was so well written. Can you help me figure something out this Saturday? How to phrase the Zhou family dinner rules without sounding hurtful. My cousin replied with 6 dots, then said, Shawan. I was just talking off the cuff last time. Please don't drag me into this. I said, I won't. It's just that we're both women. I want to hear your real opinion. She texted, my real opinion is don't swallow your pain. But you didn't hear it from me. I saved that too. Suru watching saw these chat logs. And laughed so hard she nearly hit the table. You're not contacting relatives. You're dismantling the Zhou family alliance, screw by screw. They were never a solid block to begin with, I said. The Zhou family's love alliance is held together by saving face. When Zhao Fengqin was powerful, everyone went along because going along was easy. But the moment going along means getting dragged into the mud themselves. Those people run faster than anyone. At noon on the third day, Zhou Xiaoyu took the initiative to send me a message, sis-in-law. Please don't make trouble this Saturday. Mom hasn't been sleeping well. She's lost so much weight. I replied, if you pity her, you can help her cook. She shot back, we eat at a restaurant, there's no cooking. Then you can help cover the bill. Silence again. After a while, she replied, I just graduated, where would I get the money? Family doesn't keep score. This time? Zhou Xiaoyu sent a pouty sticker, sis-in-law. The way you talk now is genuinely scary. I looked at that sentence, feeling absolutely nothing inside. What scares people most isn't your words growing sharp. It's you refusing to suffer the way they've scripted for you. Friday night. Zhou Jingchuan came to find me. The spot was the little park downstairs from our marital home. The spot is the small park below our wedding apartment. My mom got up to open the door. Our neighbor, Chen Guilan, poked half her body inside. She was holding a plate of freshly fried radish balls. Steaming hot. Shawan, right? I made too many, so I brought you some. Oh, you have a guest? My mom's eyes lit up. Guilan, perfect timing. Come in, sit down. Zhao Fengqin's face changed instantly. I almost laughed out loud. Chen Guilan is that person. Everyone in the complex knows her. She's not mean. Just has sharp eyes and sharp ears. Whose pipe burst. Whose kid failed a test, whose son-in-law showed up empty-handed. She could piece together the whole story just from the checkout line. She saw the thermos and red envelope the moment she walked in. Her eyes lit up. Oh my, is this soup delivery or a gift offering? Zhao Fengqin forced a smile. I'm Xiaowan's mother-in-law. Just here to see the kids. Chen Guilan sat down, grabbing a sunflower seed casually. Third day of marriage. And the mother-in-law delivers soup herself. That's old school. My mom handed her tea. It's not just that. Fengqin says. Xiaowan has to pour tea, call her mom. And then she gets the red envelope. Chen Guilan's seed cracking paused for a second. She blinked. Oh, she's here for the tea ceremony. So sincere. So earnestly that Zhao Fengqin's face turned green. My mom sliced the peeled apple into pieces. stuck a toothpick in. Guilan, try some. Chen Guilan ate a piece of apple. Then glanced at the thermos again. Is that soup any good? Zhao Fengqin immediately said, of course it is. I got up at 5 to simmer it. Chen Guilan nodded. Looks like it's for building up her strength. She paused, sounding thoughtful. Sounds a bit off. My mom coughed, looking down. I couldn't help it, my lips twitched. Zhao Fengqin finally couldn't take it anymore. Excuse me, ma'am. You might not understand our family matters. I don't understand. Chen Guilan said very sincerely. I'm not one to meddle. She cracked another sunflower seed. But I'm not blind. The silence was almost funny. Zhao Fengqin took a deep breath. And looked at me. Xiaowan, is this how you let outsiders laugh at your mother-in-law? Auntie Chen is my neighbor, not an outsider. You had so many relatives at the dinner table yesterday, and you didn't seem to think of them as outsiders. She was shut down. My mom continued gently twisting the knife. Fengqin, don't be upset. Didn't you say family should speak openly? Guilan isn't an outsider anyway. She's discreet. Chen Guilan waved her hands. No, not discreet at all. My lips aren't sealed. If it's serious, I'll leave. She pretended to rise, but never left the sofa. It was so absurd, it felt like a badly rehearsed skit. And just then, Zhou Xiaoyu's video call came through on Zhao Fengqin's phone. Zhao Fengqin was probably flustered. She fumbled and answered it. Zhou Xiaoyu's voice blared out immediately. Mom. Did she apologize or pay? Film it all. I'll edit a happy family reconciliation video and post it online. That'll shut those relatives up. Silence fell over the living room. Zhao Fengqin went pale and hung up in a panic. Chen Guilan even stopped cracking sunflower seeds. My mom put down the fruit knife and let out a laugh. Well, so there's still a filming assignment to complete. Fengqin panicked. Xiaoyu's just talking nonsense. She films everything, no boundaries. I grabbed my phone. My voice was calm. I just recorded that last sentence. Zhao Fengqin whirled on me. You recorded what? From when you made me call you Mom, I said. Perfect for a family reconciliation clip. It's got the full story, start to finish. Her face cycled through shades of red and white. Lin Wan. How did you become this? Her voice ached. As if I hadn't just used a phone recorder, but had taken a knife to her family's ancestral shrine. I met her eyes. I've always been like this. It's just before, I smiled and listened to everything you said. Now I've stopped smiling, and you think I've changed. Zhao Fengqin grabbed her thermal container and stood up to leave. My mom called out to her. Fengqin, aren't you leaving the soup? She froze mid-step. Chen Guilan added seriously, don't waste it. That black chicken is expensive. Zhao Fengqin's back stiffened like a damp chopstick. She gritted her teeth. Since Xiaowan won't drink it, I'm taking it back. Drive safe. After the door closed, silence filled the apartment for 2 seconds. Chen Guilan suddenly slapped her thigh. Io. Xiaowan, your in-laws aren't looking for a daughter-in-law. They're hiring an intern. With a probation period and a rulebook. Mom burst out laughing, then me. When it faded, Chen Guilan leaned in, lowering her voice. Xiaowan. Auntie's prying. Your mother-in-law's hard to please. Pickiness is just complaining about the seasoning. She's testing your humility. I nodded. I know. She eyed me. Your plan? Wait for them. Chen Guilan didn't quite understand, but she was thrilled. Need Auntie to be a witness? I might talk fast, but I've got a memory like an elephant. I heard her clearly. She told you to pour tea and call her Mom. My mom patted her arm. Oh, just stop it. Chen Guilan wasn't having it. I'm serving justice here. Just then, my dad leaned out from the balcony. Before you play hero, bring over the meatballs. I've been smelling them for ages. The tension finally cracked a little. I picked up a meatball. Crispy on the outside, but so hot inside it scalded my tongue. Sometimes, that's just life, isn't it? Someone hands you chicken soup and expects a bow. And someone else brings you a plate of meatballs. To remind you there's still warmth left. That afternoon, Zhou Jingchuan called. His voice was heavy. You humiliated my mom in front of the neighbors today. I opened my planner. Your mom came demanding I admit I was wrong. The neighbors overheard. Don't twist the story, Zhou Jingchuan. Why are you being so harsh now? The facts are harsh. I'm not. He paused for a beat. My mom cried. And? That's it? Did she take the soup when she cried or not? Meaning? Just checking she didn't waste it. Zhou Jingchuan let out a humorless laugh. You think this is funny? No, it's not funny. But it's funnier than a bucket of soup being an apology, I said. His breathing turned heavier. Tomorrow. Family dinner. Are you coming or not? So, it was finally here. I looked at the list tucked inside my planner. Zhao Fengqin was calling tomorrow's meal a meet the family dinner. She'd invited the Zhou family's oldest, most rigid elders, plus a few younger relatives. Her plan? To get everyone sitting there, telling me to bow my head, to be sensible, telling me to choke down those words, I'll come. I won't touch your family's food. Zhou Jingchuan sounded relieved. Then don't make a scene, okay? Let's just have a nice meal, and afterwards, you apologize to my mom, and afterwards, we'll put this behind us. I closed my planner. I'll come. But I won't eat. Linwan, you set your table. I'll keep my word. After I hung up the phone, I opened Zhou Xiaoyu's vlog channel. Her latest post was already deleted, but I'd saved it. That video line, did you send the red packet? Remember to film it. I replayed it twice. Then dropped it into a new folder. I named the folder, The Dinner Table. The Zhou family dinner was set for 6 p.m. When I arrived, the red happiness sign on the door was still up, its edges peeling, like a mouth stretched into an exhausted smile. Zhao Fengqin opened the door herself. She wore a maroon cardigan, her hair perfectly in place. The moment she saw me, a smile was plastered on. Wan, come in, we've all been waiting for you. Her voice was sickly sweet. Like a knife wrapped in velvet. The living room was already packed. Aunt, uncle. All the young relatives I'd met yesterday were there. Zhou Xiaoyu had her phone out, pretending to check messages. But her camera was subtly trained on the doorway the whole time. Zhou Jingchuan walked over to take my bag. I didn't give it to him. His hand froze midair. Awkward pause. Wan, have a seat. I glanced at the dining room. Huge table. A 12-seater round. Half the dishes were already out, steamed fish, braised pork belly, poached shrimp, scallops on noodles. The room smelled rich. But there were only 11 chairs. The one missing? Mine. By the kitchen door, a low plastic stool sat waiting. Next to a basin full of vegetable scraps. Zhao Fengqin followed my gaze. A smile spreading across her face. Shaowan, don't read into it. We're just short a chair today. You take that spot. A new bride must be diligent, near the kitchen for serving. Everyone will admire that. The aunt chimed in right on cue. Right. A young wife with quick hands, that's a blessing. Uncle nodded. Back in my day, a bride's first homecoming. Never got to sit around waiting for food. Zhou Jingchuan lowered his voice. Wan, just sit down. I'll switch you later. Switch what? Exactly. He avoided my eyes. Don't fuss over one seat. A soft laugh escaped me. Yesterday, a single bite of food. Today, a single chair. They nibble at your space, piece by piece. Until you seem crazy for reacting. But all those tiny pieces? Add them up. That's how you earn respect here. I set my bag down on the entryway cabinet. I skipped the stool, mother's right. I'll be diligent. That's how you win everyone over. A flicker of victory crossed Zhao Fengqin's face. She thought I'd caved. I went in, washed up, and tied on an apron. The room relaxed. Relatives' voices lightened. Zhou Xiaoyu murmured into her phone, see? My sister-in-law talks tough, but I caught it. Didn't turn around. If they wanted to see a diligent new bride, I'd give them a full show. I set the table for everyone first. Father-in-law's bowl at the head. Chopsticks facing right, spoon right beside it. Zhao Fengqin's bowl next to his. Her spoon swapped for ceramic. She likes soft. So I turned the pork belly her way. The second uncle has bad teeth. I poured him half a bowl of broth. Zhou Xiaoyu loves shrimp. I turned the shrimp her way, set out gloves. I moved smoothly, smile poised, placing each dish. I murmured, here you go, auntie, please start. Uncle. Xiaoyu, the shrimp is right in front of you. Don't just sit there recording videos. Zhou Xiaoyu's face flushed, and she slapped her phone down on the table. Zhao Fengqin's smile slowly faded. She saw my calm obedience wasn't repentance, but a show. The dishes were laid out and the soup was served. Everyone was seated, and I was the only one left standing. Zhou Jingchuan frowned. Sit down. I glanced at the tiny stool by the kitchen door. But where? The table fell into a hush. Zhao Fengqin jumped in awkwardly. Oh dear. Ningyuan, go grab a chair. I stopped him. That won't be necessary. Mom said the kitchen spot's mine, so I can serve rice and refill soup. Zhou rules must hold. Zhao Fengqin stiffened. Zhao Fengqin's face went rigid. The eldest auntie smiled, trying to smooth things over. Xiaowan, your mother-in-law was just rambling off the cuff, right? I turned to Zhao Fengqin. Mom, was that just an offhand remark, or is it a Zhou family rule? She frowned. Why so literal, child? Not literal, just scared to fail. I took the ladle, stood by the table. Yesterday, at our first married meal, I'd barely lifted my bowl. Ning Yuan reminded me, elders haven't eaten, no soup for men. Guests haven't started, no right to eat first. Mom taught me, new wife stays near kitchen to serve. So I obey. Silence fell. Second uncle froze, chopsticks over shrimp. Too awkward to grab one, too awkward to retreat. My cousin stole a glance at Zhou Jingchuan. Zhou Jingchuan's face had turned pale as ash. Lin Wan, must you bring this up now? When else should I bring it up? I met his gaze. Didn't you invite Qin to see how well behaved I am? Zhou Xiaoyu muttered under her breath, sis-in-law. Stop the passive aggression. I looked at her. Phone on? She panicked instantly. And no, it's not. I smiled. Oh, good. Because in your video yesterday, you said let them see what mess Jingchuan married. I just feared today's footage is incomplete. It hit home. And Zhao Fengqin's face transformed entirely. The eldest auntie scowled. Fengqin, did you actually say that? Zhao Fengqin immediately deflected, I was just venting. I nodded. So the kitchen stool, a venting stool? If Chen Guilan had been there, she'd have laughed, but no one in that room smiled. Because that was a loaded statement, and acknowledging it would mean admitting the stool was deliberate. If you did, awkwardness would simmer like soup. Zhou Jingchuan stood up and reached for my hand. Wan Wan. Let's talk outside. I stepped back. Don't touch me. What you said at dinner yesterday was also said in front of everyone. I'm simply repeating it in front of everyone now. His voice tight. What are you doing? I'm trying to figure out if I'm even qualified to eat in your family. At those words, my aunt's face finally showed a flicker of discomfort. She'd said bowing wasn't shameful. But today, that little stool was sitting right there. No one could pretend this was just me being paranoid anymore. A younger cousin scratched his head and muttered, Bro. This is a bit much, isn't it? It's her first day as a newlywed. Is it really necessary? Zhou Jingchuan's head snapped towards him. The cousin shut his mouth instantly, but the crack was already there. There are always a few relatives who don't actually want justice. They just don't want to be the backdrop for something ugly. The moment they look like accomplices, their instinct is to back away. Zhao Fengqin's eyes went red. Xiaowan. She knows we clash, but don't wrong me. I was up at 5 to buy groceries. I've been busy all day. Just to invite you to a meal. Saying this publicly, want me dead? The moment she started crying, Zhou Jinggua's face darkened instantly. Enough. Linwan, she worked all day. This is payback? I asked his dad. How much did you eat? He was stunned. What? You touched your chopsticks 3 times. 1 piece of pork belly, 1 shrimp, half a bowl of soup, I listed. I didn't eat a single bite. Zhou Jinggua's face flushed red. Why are you keeping track of that? Because I'm hungry, I said. Hungry people keep track. My voice wasn't loud, but it landed like a needle, puncturing the sound of Zhao Fengqin sobbing. Something flickered in Zhou Jingchuan's eyes. It was as if he was only now realizing that from yesterday to today, all talk of face and relatives' judgment. But no one had seriously asked if I was hungry. I untied my apron. Folded neatly. Today's meal? I played my part, soup served. Lazy Susan turned, bowl set, stool seen. Enjoy the rest of your meal. Zhao Fengqin was frantic. You're leaving again? I grabbed my bag. I won't touch your food. My aunt finally spoke up. Xiaowan, sit down and eat something. Truth will settle it. I looked at her. Auntie. I'm not going hungry. I'm just not taking a seat at that table. Silence hung over the room. This time, no one told me to bow my head. I reached the front door. Zhou Jingchuan caught up with me. His voice was much softer than it had been days ago. Forced out, like gravel. Wan, I didn't know. I turned to look at him. You didn't know. So your mother set me up. You found out. So you told me to just let it slide. His face was deathly pale. I just didn't want a scene. And now? Is this a good enough scene for you? He had no answer. Zhao Fengqin's muffled sobs came from inside the house. And Zhou Xiaoyu's frantic voice, trying to explain the video. The relatives sat around the table. Nobody touched their chopsticks. Steaming dishes turned into ritual offerings. I opened the door. A draft from the hallway swept in, cutting through the greasy stench of that house. Before I stepped out, Zhou Jingchuan, your family craves dignity. But you've forgotten. Dignity isn't bought by banishing someone to the kitchen's edge. The door clicked shut behind me. This time, no one followed. I got a roasted sweet potato at the gate. The vendor lady recognized me, smiled and said, Miss, still hungover? I took the hot potato. Split it, golden inside. Not hungover today. First bite burned, but sweet. My phone buzzed. Suruwatching messaged me. What's the damage? Sent her the potato photo. First table flipped. After that family dinner, the Zhou house fell silent for 2 days. In those 2 days, Zhao Fengqin didn't post a single message in the family group chat. Zhou Xiaoyu didn't upload any new short videos either. Relatives left that night, barely ate. Before leaving, Auntie only said one thing. Fengqin. A bride's a person, not your shame fixer. Chen Guilan picked up that line at the wet market. She brought a bag of baby bok choy over to my place. All secretive and conspiratorial. Xiaowan, your mother-in-law went greener than these greens. My mom told her to stop embellishing. Chen Guilan insisted, the raw, uncut version. I laughed when I heard that. Back to my journal, the video Zhou Xiaoyu deleted. Zhao Fengqin's retracted group messages. Zhou Jingchuan's pathetic apology texts. I filed and labeled every single one of them. Suruwatching said I don't look like a woman on the verge of divorce. More like a project manager prepping an annual performance review. Marriage is a project. Cut losses on risk. She nodded. The only question left is, client's family's a nightmare. Third night. Zhou Jingchuan showed up. This time, no flowers, no soup. Just a chestnut cake from that bakery I used to love. When I opened the door, he was standing in the hallway, looking completely wrecked. Shirt still clean. But his hair was a mess. Like life had finally reached down and ruffled him up a bit. We need to talk. He came in. Parents out. They'd gone downstairs for a walk. The house was quiet. Just the faint bubbling of the rice cooker in the kitchen. Cake set. You love this place. I glanced at it. That was last year. His fingers paused. Tastes change, huh? People do. I said, especially after they've been cut off from the dinner table. Bitter laugh. Every word a weapon? I looked at him. So you came here today to apologize? Or drop claws for more trampling? Zhou Jingchuan was silent for a moment. That stool thing. I had no clue. Mom said it slipped, no chair in chaos. And you believe that? He didn't speak. I said, you don't. But you want me to. His shoulders dropped. Linwan, I admit it. I got used to just letting my mother have her way. She runs this home alone. Hard. Dad's shut off. All on her. Overbearing, not bad. I nodded. Bad or not? That's a pretty high bar to clear. I only look at what she does. Then what do you want me to do? Cut her off completely? His voice was finally laced with irritation. That's classic Zhou Jingchuan. When he can't solve a concrete problem. He just pushes it to an extreme, like my refusal to be humiliated. Forces him to disown Mom. Not cut off, I said. Just boundaries. He smirked. Families have those? Just as expected. I stood up, went into the bedroom, and returned with a folder. Zhou Jingchuan saw the label. His brow furrowed. What is this? Since you say there are no boundaries in this family. Let's do this the family way. Let's settle the accounts. Opened folder, spread papers out. First, down payment. My folks paid 600K. The Zhous put in 300K. The deed's in both our names. But Zhao Fengqin told the whole family chat group that the pressure to buy a house for a new wife was so high, the Zhous emptied their life savings to buy us a place. Second, renovation costs. Floors, cabinets, lights, curtains. That coffee machine Zhou Jingchuan loved so much? More than half of it went on my card. The third page is the wedding gift registry for my family. Zhao Fengqin said she'd hold on to it for now. Then give it to us newlyweds later. She only sent half. The rest went to cover the banquet bill. The fourth page is the post-wedding chore schedule. Zhao Fengqin casually dictated it at dinner before the wedding. I wrote it down. Every week, when we go back for dinner, Lin Wan is to arrive 2 hours early to help in the kitchen. For holidays, Lin Wan is responsible for buying gifts. Seeing as Zhou Jingchuan is so busy with work, Lin Wan should arrange most of the house cleaning. Xiaoyu's unmarried, so sister-in-law should care more. Zhou Jingchuan went through them one by one. His face darkening. When did you start keeping track of all this? The first time your mother said, we're family now. He stared, eyes complex. You doubted us from the start. Not doubt, I said. You talk too much, I feared forgetting. He put one of the pages down. His voice tight. Lin Wan, is there any point in a couple keeping score like this? When you demanded I follow the rules at the dinner table, you kept score sharper than me, chopsticks first, head seat, kitchen spot. Now settling accounts. You say couples shouldn't tally. He stayed silent. I continued, if we're truly one family, then the house expenses. The renovation costs, the gift money, let's put it all on the table. If a wife must serve his family at once, then when Zhou Xiaoyu dines at her in-laws, does she also have to show up in the kitchen 2 hours early? If I should be serving your mother tea and admitting fault, shouldn't Mom also be serving me a cup of tea? For leaving me without our marriage certificate on day one? Zhou Jingchuan's head shot up. You want my mother to serve you tea? I laughed. You see? The mere suggestion is unbearable to you. So how do you figure I should just take it? His face went pale. In that instant, he'd finally bumped into his own logic. It wasn't a painful or heavy impact, but it was enough to shut him up. I slid the folder over. Tell your mother, bring her rules. I'll obey them fully. Talk, family. I'll hold her to that family standard, all the way. Just stop preaching tradition when it's time for me to bow my head. And then talking modern when it's time for you to open your wallets. Zhou Jingchuan said quietly, with you being like this now, how are we supposed to go on? I should be asking you that, I said. Your family makes dinner a pecking order. How can we continue? He rubbed his temples, his voice weary. My mother is already very upset. All the relatives are talking behind her back. She's faked it all her life. Can't handle it. Not one mistake. It's about people seeing her make one. He didn't respond. Footsteps echoed from the hall. Parents home. They stopped right outside the door. Still didn't come in. I knew they could hear us talking inside. Giving us space. On purpose. Zhou Jingchuan stared at the folder. Then out of nowhere, he said, Wan, were you never actually planning on trying to make this work? The question hit me like a hypodermic needle, right in the chest. I just looked at him, didn't speak for a long time. Then I stood up, walked into the bedroom, and pulled out another book. Not the red journal. A light yellow recipe notebook. I opened it up to show him. Page 1, post-wedding menu. Monday, tomato beef brisket. Jingchuan likes the broth mixed with his rice. Tuesday, steamed base. FIL has high cholesterol, so go easy on the oil. Wednesday, sweet and sour ribs. Xiaoyu loves this dish. Less vinegar. Thursday, mushroom and chicken soup. First time hosting Mom and Dad for dinner after the honeymoon. Friday, espresso machine practice. Making a latte for Jingchuan. Zhou Jingchuan stared at that page. His expression just fractured. I said, I did try to make it work. I tracked everyone's favorites. His lips parted, just a little. I shut the notebook. But I never got the chance. By the time I was ready to sit down and share a meal with you all, you made sure I knew I didn't have a seat at the table. This time, Zhou Jingchuan didn't make a single excuse for his mother. After pause, sorry. I said, for what? Eyes shut. Shamed you at the table. New mom's games yet said endure. Used face as a weapon. Almost an apology. Too late though. You can't just pretend they never happened. I said, I heard your apology. But this isn't over. He looked up. What else do you want from me? Mom in family chat. Called me rude. Said my birth family spoiled me rotten. Said your family is feeding me and I'm still being difficult. She'll correct it wherever she speaks. Zhou Jingchuan's face went pale. That's not possible. My mother will never humble herself in public. Then I won't swallow her lies in public either. His voice turned desperate. Lin Wan, just let her save some face. I asked, softly, when has anyone ever let me save mine? He deflated. Slumped back. Phone rang. It was Zhao Fengqin. Zhou Jingchuan glanced at the screen. He didn't answer, but it rang again. A second time. A third. I said, pick it up. He answered and put it on speaker. Zhao Fengqin's voice burst out immediately. Tearful and furious. Ning Yuan. Are you with Lin Wan? You tell her this. Aunt's still coming for dinner. She can forget about ever stepping foot in this house again. Zhou Jingchuan's expression froze. I looked at him and said nothing. Thinks she's special. What woman doesn't suffer a bit after getting married? I never threw tantrums. If she won't come back and apologize, just leave her be. Let's see how long she can keep up this tough act. Zhou Jingchuan finally spoke. Mom. Enough. Zhao Fengqin froze. What did you say? I said, enough. I saw his hand trembling. It was probably the first time he hadn't immediately placated her. A moment of silence. Then Zhao Fengqin exploded. You're yelling at me for her sake? I raised you for nothing, is that it? Zhou Jingchuan closed his eyes. He hung up. The living room was left with only the dial tone. I didn't comfort him. His first bitter pill. He stood up and picked up a folder. I'll go back and talk to her. At the door, he paused. Wan Wan. I'll handle it. Don't handle our fight. You need to handle yourself. His back stiffened. Then, he gave a slight nod. After the door closed, my parents came in from the hallway. My dad had a bag of tangerines in his hand, acting as if he hadn't heard a thing. He set the tangerines on the table. They're sweet. Have one. Juice, sweet and sour. A message came in on my phone from Su Ruoqing. Progress today? Settling scores. Good. But every debt must be paid. I stared at those words. Then I wrote them down in my red ledger. The title that night was, The Logic of Blowback. After that, I didn't see Zhou Jingchuan for 5 days. He sent a few messages. The first said he'd had a huge fight with Zhao Fengqin. The second said he'd moved back into the marital home. The third said he'd cleaned the espresso machine. Clean the portafilter daily. I had to laugh when I got to the third one. Some men grow up. Only after realizing that appliances don't magically clean themselves. I skipped both homes. Those 5 days, I fled a loud wedding. Carefully placing my own life back into its basket. I woke up at 7, made millet porridge, fried an egg. I left 2 pieces of pumpkin for my parents. I was at work by 8:30. At noon, I ate at the cafeteria with Su Ruoqing. Work, then market walk. I bought a bunch of greens and 2 cucumbers. Ribs soothe me. No one there asks if you know the rules. No one polices whether you have the right to eat first. Vendor asks, tender or tough? Big or small chops. Free cilantro. The simple fairness of human existence. Sometimes it's hidden right there in the price tag. Chen Guilin often bumped into me at the market. She carried a black cloth bag, stuffed with eggs, tofu, and discount tissues. And the freshest gossip in the neighborhood. Xiaowan. Mother-in-law's home, high BP. Doctor? No news. Then it can't be that serious. Chen Guilin paused. She laughed. You're blunt. It stings more than a chili pepper. I'm genuinely concerned. BP needs doctor, not texts. Chen Guilin nodded. True. The sickness is the sickness. The drama is the drama. She leaned in closer. But your Jingchuan, he's been buying his own groceries these days. He eyed fish, asked to cook. Boss, just steam it. He asked if he could do it without the coffee grounds. He asked? Yes. Chen Guilin kept a straight face. Boss stared, shocked. I finally burst out laughing. The sound of it dissolved into the noisy chaos of the market. Heart softened, not weak. I know it very clearly. Zhou Jingchuan can clean a coffee machine, buy groceries, and stand up to his mother. Seeing is not equal to changing. Many meals ahead. Day 5. Suruwatching came over to my place. She brought a bag of snacks. Upgrade your grudge list. She pulled a stack of printed pages from her bag. Zhou family rules chart, I read it. I almost burst out laughing. 4 columns, first, family's words. The second column, applicable target. The third column, result if applied equally. Rule 1, new wife eats last. Elders, men, and guests have priority. Equal application result, all new family members, including future sons-in-law and married daughters returning home, must wait for family's nod. Absurdity, 5 stars. Rule 2, wife works hard. Sit by kitchen for refills. Equal application result, whoever enters someone's home as a guest is responsible for the kitchen service. If Zhou Xiaoyu brings a boyfriend home in the future, husband at door. 4.5 stars. Rule 3, no ceremony, money blurred. Costs, gifts, chores all shared. No one-sided asks. 6 stars. Off the charts. I stared at that row of 6 stars. I couldn't help but say, your chart isn't rigorous enough. Sue, emotion matters. I placed the chart on the table. Knew it won't sway Zhao. A person like Xiao Fengqin isn't afraid of reason. Reason's like veggies to her. It was useful because the relatives would see it. The essence of all the Zhou family rules is a fear of role reversal. Swap wife with daughter. Old words sound sweet. Will instantly bare their teeth. Su Ruoqing took a sip of cola. When are you planning to use it? Red journal, waiting for her banquet. She will do it again. I knew her logic too well. She lost at the first family dinner. No self-blame, just more guests. Not grand, not prepared. The thing she cares about most was smashed at the dinner table once. She'd top it bigger. And then? Early the next morning. Zhou, mom wants peace dinner. Both families, clear air. I stared at the screen and let out a little laugh. Su Ruoqing happened to walk past me at that moment. Partier's family brings more fuel. I replied to Zhou Jingchuan, who suggested this. What now? He paused. Just eat, past is past. She won't bring up the rules anymore. I typed back, location. I deleted the message, then retyped, not going. Zhou Jingchuan called immediately. I answered. His voice was tired. Wan, I know you don't want to go to my mother's house. What about a restaurant? Neutral ground? Who pays? He paused. Does that matter? It matters. If you pay, it won't be her apology. She'll call it her olive branch while you pay. Keep accounts clear. Silence on the other end. Then, I'll pay. That wasn't reconciliation, just me reminding him of something ugly. He murmured, I understand. That afternoon, Zhou Jingchuan texted again. Venue changed to Golden Dragon Palace. My mom will cover the room and meal. She invites your parents. I stared at those words, my fingers frozen for a long moment. Golden Dragon Palace is a classic, prestigious hall, ideal for birthdays. Great for 1 month and engagement parties. Perfect for respectable shows. Qin Qin isn't hosting a simple dinner. She's forcing the rebellious daughter-in-law to bow publicly. I forwarded the message to Suru watching. She texted, a luxury trap. I said, perfect. Big table. That evening, I told my parents. Mom's first thought, what, we just watch her show. My dad shelled a peanut. Go. My mom glared at him. Why are your answers always so brief? He placed the peanut in a small dish. She's inviting us. Because she wants us to pressure Xiaowan to submit. If we don't go, she'll say Xiaowan's family is unreasonable. If we go, whatever she says, we just listen. Mom paused. Then don't just sip tea the whole time. Dad nodded. I'll manage a few words. For him, huge. When he was younger, working as a maintenance tech in a factory, he let his hands do the talking. His promise to say a few words meant this was far from a small matter in his mind. That night, I went back to the marital home alone. First time back since it all broke. Passcode unchanged. The living room was still cluttered with leftover wedding balloons. A few had deflated, plastered to the floor. Like shed skins after a party. Kitchen spotless. No dishes in the sink. The stovetop wiped clean. Next to the coffee machine was a sticky note. Zhou Jingchuan's handwriting, washed the portafilter 3 times. Still smells like coffee. Never knew how long it took you to tidy all this up every day. I studied the note for a long time, then pressed it into my bullet journal. Not as proof of forgiveness. Part of the record. Fridge stocked, tomatoes, eggs, greens, an unopened carton of milk. I was making myself noodles. Just as the water hit a boil, Zhou Jingchuan came home. He stood in the kitchen doorway, saw me, and his eyes lit up. He caught himself quickly. You're back. Came to grab something. And make some noodles. He nodded, not stepping into the kitchen. After a moment, he asked, softly, can you make me a bowl too? I paused. Fine. You do the dishes. He nodded at once. Okay. That night, it was just us, 1 bowl of tomato and egg noodles each. Opposite ends, no starting. No one served the other any soup. Halfway through, Zhou Jingchuan said, that dinner at the Golden Dragon Palace. I'll keep an eye on my mother. I won't let her corner you. You can't control her. He flushed. Control yourself. She'll cry soon. She'll rage, claim illness, call you ungrateful. Will you still ask me to be the one to back down? His grip tightened. Long silence. He said, I'll try. Not enough. I held his gaze. I finished the last mouthful of noodles. Set down my chopsticks. Zhou Jingchuan. Only you steady your seat. You pulling out my chair for me is useless. You need to figure out where you're sitting first. I didn't stay that night. Before I left the marital home. Kitchen light off, living room dark. Only the refrigerator cast a small, cold square of light. Like a meal that hadn't quite gone cold yet. Saturday, Golden Dragon reconciles. Zhao Fengqin started preparing 3 days in advance. Menu, room photos in group chat. Happy family, come witness. Temple bell tone, solemn show. A summons to watch me bow. I didn't reply in the group. Instead, I started reaching out to all the attendees, one by one. The first was the eldest aunt. I messaged her, Auntie. Saturday? Last meal short. Sorry. Yes, I'll come. Family talks fix all. Right. Your in-law said your cousin's home. Zhou lent 50k. Paid back yet? Household books. Want clear. Silence. Then my aunt replied, Shawan. That was just your mother-in-law helping out casually back then. It has nothing to do with you two as a young couple. I said, I know. It's just that mother often says family doesn't keep things separate. Sorting deals to honor elders. Aunt paused. Clarity hurts kin. Don't take everything your mother-in-law says so seriously. I smiled at the screen. When the debt collector comes for them. Now kinship needs vague art. Uncle too. Uncle, you said bowing isn't shame. Your daughter's wedding, will you? If her in-laws made her eat in the kitchen, what did you tell her? Second uncle replied with a voice message. First half said it depends, second half backed down. But kids these days, you can't be too old-fashioned with them. I saved it. The third one was my cousin. She loves posting on social media about women needing boundaries. Last time she said happy family, happy life in group chat. I texted, "Cuz, I saw that blog post you wrote a while back about female empowerment. It was so good. Can you help me out this Saturday? How do I set dinner table rules at in-laws without sounding harsh?" My cousin replied with an ellipsis and then said, Shawan. I was just saying whatever last time. Please don't drag me into this. I said, I won't. It's just, we're both women. I really want to hear your honest opinion. She sent back, my honest opinion is, don't let yourself be a doormat. But don't you dare tell anyone I said that. I saved that too. Suruo Ching saw these chat logs. Laughed so hard she nearly collapsed. You're not contacting relatives. You're unscrewing the bolts on the Zhou alliance. They were never a solid block of iron, I said. The Zhou family's bond is held together by saving face. Everyone goes along, path of least resistance. But if that drags them into mud too, these people will run faster than anyone. The third day, noon. Zhou Xiaoyu messaged me first, sis-in-law. Please, don't start anything Saturday. Mom's been sleepless. She's lost weight. I said, pity her? Help her cook. She immediately shot back, we're eating out, no one needs to cook. Then chip in for the meal. Silence. Then, just graduated, no money. We're family, what's mine is yours. This time, Zhou Xiaoyu sent a pouty emoji. Sis-in-law. The way you talk now is seriously scary. I looked at that sentence. My heart didn't flinch. Scariest isn't how you talk now. It's that you've stopped playing the victim they know. Friday evening. Zhou Jingchuan came to find me. It was at the small park below our marital apartment.